What's going on, guys? Welcome back. If you're new around here, I hope you stick around. If you were here last week, we were working on the 68 Impala that I got. I've just been tinkering around with it. She ain't nothing too fancy. Just got it to have a little fun with. Got it because it was cheap. She's not the prettiest thing, but we're gonna have some fun with it. Last video, we got this thing running after it had been sitting for roughly 20-ish years. Wasn't too hard to do. Put some fuel in it, really. Fuel pump. I had to put a coil on it. Just little things. You have to go check out the video if you didn't see it. But this week, we're going to see how much we can get done once again. Just keep on moving forward with this thing. Two issues we have. 0 brakes. And the carburetor that's on it is garbage. So, I ended up getting another master cylinder because I believe that's what's wrong with it. And this here is a cheapo knockoff. Literally, it's from, where's it from? I think it's, either way, it's a knockoff Holley 1-barrel. If you watched last summer when we turboed the Ford Falcon, that's the same carburetor that I put on it. It was 50 bucks and it worked great. So I got another one. We're going to throw it on here. We're going to have to make the linkage and stuff work on it. But I think since we got it running and moving, might as well go ahead and just start with brakes. We know it runs, so we don't need to get a carburetor on there, make sure it runs. What I'm going to try to do, I'm pretty sure that the plunger is stuck in that master cylinder. You push the brake and nothing happens at all. So it's not moving any fluid, nothing like that. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to unbolt that from the firewall, see if we can't break these lines loose in the master. It's probably going to snap the lines off. We're going to end up making lines, all the stuff. Then it's probably going to end up blowing out wheel cylinders. So. And of course, it's 4-wheel drum brake, so that's going to be even better. But anyways, let's see if I can't bust my knuckles on getting these lines out of here. Yeah, let's get after it. Okay, I've done sprayed these down once with some PB Blaster. I'm sure it ain't going to hurt to do it again. What's your guys' guess? I think it's just going to strip the line right off, strip the nut out, twist the line. What's going to happen here? Let's see. No way. Did we just get that lucky? Oh, well, we're only half done. Well, that one's going to come out. What about this one? Oh, no way. I have never been that lucky before. Usually, we're twisting lines off. All kinds of stuff. You guys know the goodies, especially if you're from the north. You never get lucky. Alright, lines disconnected. Do you think the old Milwaukee bit driver's got it in it? Come on. No. I didn't figure it would. Let's see if we can't get on it with the ratchet. Sorry, I know I'm in your guys' way. You'll hear me scream though. Oh, okay, there's one. Get the other one real quick. Ow! Alright, let me move. They loosened up pretty good. This should get it now. Nice. Alright. Get those out of the way. Yep, just like I thought. Not good. Then we're just gonna go right back in with the new one. As simple as that. Oh, if I can get it to line up, there we go. Two bolts, screw the lines back in, and that job is done. Then we're gonna have to bench bleed it, but we're going to do it in a car because I don't have a vise yet. Maybe someday I'll grow up and buy one. Probably not. I like doing stuff the hard way. I like to suffer. But anyways, I'm gonna get this tightened down, get these lines screwed in here. No, I won't, because we got to do the bench bleed. I'll get all that set up, and I'll show you guys my little setup that I use. Come on, it ain't nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. All right, let me get those tightened down and get my bleeders set up on here. All right, guys, this here is my setup. Just a couple rubber hoses, fittings, a little clip that holds the hoses in here. Oh, stuck my finger right in it. And all it is one of these cheap master cylinder bleeder kits from the parts store. It comes with a bunch of fittings, some hose, cut it to length, put them in here, fill this up. That way the hoses are completely submerged, and then we're just gonna pump the pedal until all the air, you can see some air in this line here. So all of the air gets out of here. You'll see bubbles come up from down in here where the fluid goes down inside the piston in this thing. So I can show you, see if some air comes out and I hit the pedal. I have hit it a couple times, but there still should be plenty more air in there to come out. Let's see. Oh yeah, you guys can see the air going through the lines and everything. All the way to the floor, all the way back up. Keep doing it. Now, a lot of people say you can just push it just a little bit in the beginning, and it'll do the same, like move it just a 1/4 inch, and it'll bring out the air in the beginning, then go all the way to the floor, do the last 1/4 inch. Everybody has their own theories. I just all the way to the top or to the bottom. Keep doing it until you get no more air in any of the lines, no more air coming out of the holes in the bottom. Easy as that. So I'm gonna get this knocked out, and then get those lines hooked up, and we'll come back when it's time to hit the bleeders on this thing and see if we can't get a brake pedal. All right, next day. As you can see, we're inside. The weather's not so nice out there. It's raining on and off all day. But I went to touch a bleeder. Snapped it right off. I knew it was gonna happen. It is what it is. So what I did was just went ahead, went to the parts store, and I ordered everything to just fix it. New lines and new wheel cylinders, just to be safe, because I can guarantee you the lines are going to be swollen and not letting any fluid through, and these, we might as well, we have to anyways, at least on, I think it was this front one that I snapped clean off. And I barely even touched it, so I think it was pre-half snapped, but it is what it is. No big deal. Gonna make it a little nicer for us to be in the garage anyways. Don't have to work out there in the mud, so. Let me get this thing jacked up on a stand, and we'll get this first wheel off here and see what we run into behind that drum. Hopefully there's brakes in there. We're going to find out. But at least we'll have a brand new master, new lines, rubber lines, and new wheel cylinders. So as long as there's decent brakes in there and the hard lines hold up, we shouldn't be too far off from having some brakes. So let me get this thing jacked up on a stand, get this wheel off, and I'll be back with you guys. Well, good news on wheel number 1. Everything is here in the brakes, which is awesome. We don't have to go buy nothing else. So one thing we're changing here is this here wheel cylinder, and then this here hose, which it is hard as a rock. I'm glad we went ahead and just bought those, get that knocked out of the way. Now, unfortunately, I do have to disassemble a little bit of this. This wheel cylinder, there's a stud here. It actually goes around it. I got the new one here, I can show you. So it goes around this stud here at the top. So I got to take apart some of this stuff, enough to just spread this far enough so I can get in here, take this stud loose to get this out and get the new one in. So I'm going to set you guys up and start wrestling off these upper springs here, just enough to spread these apart. Well, like I was saying, I'm going to have to pull off a whole lot out of this. I pulled off this spring, and all they did was go from here up to the center, from there up to the center, and there's a little bar down here, but I unhooked it as well. And then this here is the big stud that I was talking about. It just threads in here, holds your wheel cylinder in, and that's what all of your springs hook to. And then there's just this one little doohickey thing that goes on and holds it all together. So what I'm fighting now is the line here. Obviously you see there's 2 vice grips on there. I tried to put a wrench on there and it immediately started to turn, or strip, I shouldn't say turn. Put these on here and I actually did break it loose with the vice grips. So my plan is go ahead and take all this out. I don't know why it's stuck in the holder yet. The spring clip isn't even on there to hold the hard line, or the soft line into that bracket. So once I get this unthreaded from here, let's see what's going on there. But yeah, So all you gotta do is get this out, a couple springs, this, and then I'm just gonna take this all out as one unit, and then we'll put it all back together. Easy as that. Well, that's that. Got everything all back together. Everything's buttoned up. The only thing is the bracket that held the soft line to the frame on the old line was actually part of the line. So this fits. It just doesn't have the bracket on it. What I'll probably end up doing is running a zip tie through this hole here just to keep this a little more secure. But I'm going to go ahead, jump over to the other side and get it all tore apart and just do that off camera. If there's anything cool over there, I'll show you. But once all that's done, I'm just going to break the bleeders loose on each side and wait for them to start dripping. And that'll get most of your air out since I don't have anybody here to help me bleed. And it should give it enough break up here to at least stop the car. But do the other side, and then I'll come back when we're doing the back and see if there's anything cool back there to see. Okay, so this side all the way back together with the tire on it. Both sides all the way back together with the tires on it. I went ahead, cracked the bleeders loose, let them run until nothing but fluid came out. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I have all kinds of pedal in this car. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it's a dead stop. So I got 0 leaks to the back, and I think tomorrow when it's daylight, because this car has 0 exhaust and I got neighbors, we might try to go ahead and see if this thing's gonna stop. I really just don't feel like climbing underneath the back of it right now. And honestly, it feels like it has all of the brakes that it should. Obviously, they're not power brakes, they're manual, so they don't feel all the way the best, but they are there. But yeah, I think we're gonna wait, or I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to do anything else in this thing. But it should be just get here after work, hit the key, put it in reverse, and hopefully not back into the new Camaro back there that you guys don't know anything about yet. But yeah, I think I'm calling it for the night. I might let it off the stands and just get it ready for the morning, or sorry, after work. But other than that, I'm pretty excited. That'll be the first time this thing drives and stops under its own power in 20-ish years. That's pretty neat. Gotta check coolant. Might do that tonight. And trans fluid, but I don't want to do that until it's running. Go ahead and top it off. I think it was a little low the last time I checked, but yeah, I'm excited. We have brakes, finally. Let's see what happens tomorrow after work. All right, so plan is get this thing fired up and back it out. That way it's not real loud in the house because my neighbors are home. And then check trans fluid, and then we'll see how the carburetor's feeling today. If it's feeling all right, we might go for a little drive. If not, we'll go ahead and start swapping that thing over. So let's see how she wants to act today. It's been sitting here for about a week or so. Let's see what you got. All right. So loud. All right, brakes and reverse. We do have brakes, nice. Oh yeah, she's alive. Is the hood going to clear? All right. It barely clears. Alright, I'm gonna let it sit here and run so I can check this trans fluid. Get an idea what's up with that. The lifter chick is getting after it. Oh yeah. She's pretty low. Oh yeah, we should check coolant too. I see some stuff in there. I'm gonna shut this off for now. Got some water. Just gonna top this up real quick. Hopefully this radiator holds. Can you guys even see? Maybe you can. Watch this just start leaking everywhere. Alright, she's pretty low. About half a gallon, maybe? This is not too bad. Could be way worse. Alright, now I don't feel so bad for letting it sit here and run. Now there's some water in it. Cool thing is, the cheater switch is still wired up, so I can start it from right here. The old go. Maybe not. I need some fuel. The starter is so bad in this. Alright, transport. Nailed it. Well, she runs, she moves, but she doesn't run very well. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing swapped over to this new carburetor. I'm going to have a little bit of linkage to mess with, which is fine because this has screws and wire and everything else holding it together. There's another screw back there holding that in. But if I remember right, the last time I did this linkage here on the back, I think we just have to make it a little bit shorter, and then this arm here on this, I'm going to have to cut it off, flip it around so it's hanging out this way, and weld it back on. So not too much work, but it should help us tremendously because that carburetor, I'm sure you heard it in the last clip, it's just garbage. I can buy a rebuild kit for it, but they cost more than that cheap carburetor does. And like I said, I know those carburetors work pretty good, so I'm just going to throw that on there, modify a few little things, it should be good to go. So let me start tearing this thing apart and see how it goes. Okay, everything's all swapped out. I didn't even have to end up shortening this line. The spring here, it's in a sketchy area, but it's gonna work to do what I need it to do. Fuel line's all hooked up, everything's all hooked up. I did go ahead and order some of these clips to get these screws out of here. That way we don't lose one of those. But yeah, should be able to hit the button on this thing, let it crank for a little bit, get that bowl filled up on that new carburetor. Fingers crossed, this thing should start up and run. Hopefully way better than it was yesterday. So let me set you guys up and I'll hit this button. All right, let's see how this goes. I can't wait to hear this lovely starter again. Man, does that need a shim. All right, iron hole. Oh, we got fuel. It should, in theory, start and run. Idle needs turned up a little. Just like that. Nice. Still has a dead miss. Maybe we can throw some plugs in it. Maybe that'll help. Well, guess there ain't nothing to do now but to just drive her down the road, eh? I'm gonna let it sit here and run, see how it does. Make sure nothing crazy happens. We'll check the oil one more time, check the trans fluid. Let's put this thing on the road once. Well, I came into a slight problem. I've let it sit here and get warmer, and unfortunately, we have a severe vacuum leak in the intake. If I spray this back here on this runner, unfortunately, she is not happy. So, what that means is it's going to need an intake gasket. I also noticed that a couple of the bolts are missing. Oof. All the oil burning off here is a little bit ridiculous too. But down in here, you can see this stud here. That's supposed to have a bolt on it that kind of looks like this with a little T-bar. They're all the way down through here. This is actually quite the pain to deal with, but we're gonna have to put an intake gasket on this, which is also the exhaust gasket on these. Man, I didn't want to have to mess with that at all. And another unfortunate thing is one of those little, what do you call it? The little bar that's on this bolt right here is missing from here. It kind of presses against the exhaust and the intake at the same time and pushes it on. So I'm going to fab something up for that. Probably should put a valve cover gasket on this thing too, because obviously that's no good. Is it worth it though in the end? Is what we need to ask ourselves. Is it worth it? I'm going to think on this for a minute and see what I come up with. But either way, that's real bad. And I don't think putting a nut on there and trying to rig something up and make it work is even going to consider helping it. So, let me do some thinking. I'll get back with you guys. Well, guys, as you can see, she's hot again, and I did just have it running one more time. I'm kind of scared to go over here right this second, but I did sneak a bolt on there with the washer, and the very back bolt was actually a little bit loose. I tightened that up, and it ran great. So I figured, let it sit here and run a little longer. The radiator just exploded. Well, that is going to open up a whole nother can of worms. Regardless, I did order a new manifold gasket, and I ordered the new keeper things, that little T-bar thing. So, plan now is That intake gasket and exhaust gasket, because it's one thing on these, it's all one big long gasket, won't be here until next week. My little town I live in, I think I said it before in a previous video, they're phasing out of our parts stores all the older car parts, and it's just getting harder and harder to find the stuff. Anyways, next week on that gasket, radiator, I haven't even looked yet. I'm sure it's going to be sometime next week as well, because it's Thursday right now. And unfortunately, I'm not going to have any parts by the time this video, well, by the time I want this video to go out. So I really wanted to drive this thing around for you guys. Maybe I'll let it cool down and drive it around the yard a little bit so you guys can at least see it runs and drives. It does run, drive, and stop now. Now we just got some overheating to deal with, but dang it. Really wanted to drive this thing down the road today. That way you guys could see it run and drive, but runs good now, at least. But I do unfortunately think that that's going to do it for this video. I do apologize. Sometimes that's the way it goes. I want to get a video out for you guys, and this is kind of what we're stuck with. Like I said, I do apologize. I hope you guys enjoyed what we did get done. Next video, I promise this thing, next video on this car, I promise this will drive down the road. I'll get a brand new radiator. Probably just going to go ahead and buy one for a V8 swap. That way, I mean, let's be honest. Do we really think that the straight six is going to stay in there? I'll make hoses work for now just to be able to use that. The straight six with the V8 swap radiator. But we got to have a little fun with this car before we tear it apart. I mean, the old straight six, she's in there. She's running great. Might as well use her. The Power Glide at least has first gear and reverse. So might as well terrorize that stuff while it's in there. But yeah, I apologize. I thought this was going to go differently. But that's what you get when you're working on old hot rods. So, like I said, I apologize. I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.